Hello, it's 3 o'clock in Epicure Kitchen Land with me and Jacqueline McGrath. And today I was going to use one of our brand new products. It's called Banh Mi. So I thought I'd showcase this because a lot of people might not know what Banh Mi is all about. And you may not be inclined to purchase it unless you see how amazing it really is. This is unlike any burger seasoning you've ever tried. So this is called the Banh Mi Burger Seasoning. So let's just wait for a few seconds for some people to come on, and then I'll start explaining the ingredients so you can understand the flavor profile. So it has coconut palm sugar in it, so it's a little bit sweet. It has lemongrass, which is essential for the Vietnamese cuisine. Lime powder, very popular as well. Plus we have onion, garlic, paprika, sea salt, inactive nutritional yeast, chili pepper, ginger, essential as well, black pepper, and star anise. Oh my gosh, star anise is like that licorice smell. So this is what it looks like inside, and you can see I've been having fun playing around with this. So today we are going to make not a Banh Mi burger. We're going to make meatballs, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about Banh Mi flavoring. So when you're making a Banh Mi sandwich, hi Eileen, you always use pork. I seldom use pork in the house. I'm making this for my husband. Hi Amanda. So I've got pork, and just so you know, pork is very inexpensive. This is lean ground pork, and I was doing a price on this, and the recipe will make approximately 20 meatballs. That amounts to 20 cents per meatball, so very inexpensive. So if you're looking to stretch your grocery dollars, this might be the perfect idea. All right, so I'm using our 4-cup prep bowl. I've just dropped my meat in here. I'm going to showcase our 4-in-1 measuring spoon. Love this. It's got a tablespoon at this end, teaspoon. You flip it over, and it's got a 1/2 and a 1/4. I always recommend, let me just prove it, having two. One for dry and one for wet, because this recipe is going to use both. Hey, Amanda. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to follow the instructions right at the back. And it basically says combine a pound of lean ground pork, which this is. It says you could use beef and pork blend, and 2 tablespoons of the seasoning. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've made, because I'm not a big pork fan, I have made something, not with the Banh Mi flavoring, but a meatball, and I actually had a little bit of shrimp left over. And so you may be inclined to maybe add shrimp if you just have a little bit of shrimp left over, because I'm going to tell you it would be fabulous in this. I don't have any shrimp today, but mark my words, you'll be seeing this on my cuisine this summer. Yum, yum. Okay, so we're going to use the Banh Mi yet again. So I've got my gloves on, and basically all we're just going to do is we're just going to give this a mix. Now, once I've got this incorporated, and you may think that there's a lot of seasoning in here, but this seasoning is not spicy strong. It's just really, really flavorful. I really wish we had smell-o-vision, because you can smell the lemongrass, you can smell the star anise, the ginger, the garlic, the onion, like it. Yum. I don't even know how to explain it other than you just need to try it, buy it, you'll love it, I promise. Hey Tiffany, you're having burgers tonight. That's great to see. Okay, so once we've got this done, what I'm going to showcase is our Prep Pro Scoop. This is the 2 tablespoon one, and it reminds me of like little ice creams way back in the day, right? So basically all you need to do is use this scoop and pop it into your hands, roll it up, and I've got it, I'm going to be putting it on a baking sheet. Now, you probably have a baking sheet at home, but I would venture to say it probably doesn't have a liner unless you've been hanging out with us for a while. This liner is going to protect your sheet so you don't have to be spending hours of time cleaning in your kitchen. So anyway, you get the gist of this. Just use your scoop. Like I said, I love that it just drops out. Roll it up, drop it onto your baking sheet, and like I said, this will make approximately 20 meatballs. Now, I've got the cooked version already in the oven. So once you get these all made up, you're gonna have your oven set for 400 degrees and you're gonna cook it for about 15 minutes. The internal temperature, if you do have a thermometer, is gonna be about 165 degrees. But how I always tell, I mean, I can tell that it's cooked because I've been in the kitchen forever, but I always just cut one open if you want to just check and make sure that it's cooked well. You do want to make sure when you're using ground meat that you do cook it well. I will never figure out why people order their ground meat raw. That's just asking for trouble. So let me just move this out of my way for a second. And I'm going to take off these gloves. And this is why I said you got to cook well. All right, so I'm gonna next talk about, I'm gonna do a noodle bowl with this. So it's gonna be a banh mi noodle bowl. And in fact, I've got over on the stove here a multi-purpose pot, the 12-cup one. I hope you're watching last week and took advantage of those sales that we had, because the 12-cup multi-purpose pot is over there and I've got water in it right now. And what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to drop some rice noodles. Remember, everything that Epicure sells is gluten-free. And so it's important, let me just show you what I've got here. It's going to start beeping up, of course. But I'm just going to drop my noodles inside here and we're just going to cook them for about 7 minutes. So get that back on the burner. And every once in a while, I'll just go over there and stir it and make sure it's going good. So now let's get our salad going, because the meatballs are in the oven. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a banh mi noodle salad. So I want to make a dressing with this. And literally when I smelt this, I was chatting with my assistant and I said, oh my gosh, this is going to make the most amazing salad ever. So I'm using our 1-cup prep bowl. And basically I've got some oil in here. This is vegetable oil today. I didn't want to have olive oil because I wanted to make sure that I didn't overcast the flavor. And I'm going to use my dry spoon, and I am going to put in roughly 2 teaspoons. I think I wrote down 2 teaspoons, I think, banh mi. Yeah, 2 teaspoons of the banh mi seasoning. I did try this already. Let me just show you what that looks like. Can you see, like, there's chunks in there? Looks really nice, right? We also are gonna add some soy sauce, and that's essential. So this is gluten-free, sodium reduced soy sauce. So now I'm going to grab my 1 tablespoon, my liquid measure, and I'm gonna put a tablespoon of that in there. And then next, I'm going to put in 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. Just so you know, you could use regular white vinegar. However, rice vinegar is a little bit sweeter. Give me a second, I'm just gonna stir my noodles here. Rice vinegar is a little bit sweeter and it does give it a little bit different flavor. But if you don't have rice vinegar, don't worry, okay? So, I have rice vinegar. I always keep it on hand. I like the freshness of it. Of course, rice vinegar is made with rice. So we've got a couple tablespoons in there. Now, you can do a couple things here. As you can see, it's basically hasn't been mixed up, and so we need to mix it up. And a couple things that you could use is we could use our little mini whisk, which is like a kitchen staple. However, we came out this year with this air wand. The air wand is actually, I think it's quite cute. It has a USB cord to charge it up. So here we are with technology. It has 3 adjustments on here, and it's got 2 different ends. So I thought that I'd just get it started and with this, and give this a little stir and make sure it's incorporated nicely. Isn't that easy? And how fun. So you can see how nicely this incorporates. It's not separated like it was before. Okay, so we'll set that aside. Now, we need to get our salads going. So I've got my rice noodles, which I'm just gonna stir. And just to let you know, right now, anytime you place an order, and I do wanna let you know, these are flying off the shelves, so there might be some changes, but if you would like the grip and grabs, which I love, these are normally sold in a set. By purchasing $60 today, you can actually get this as a free gift. And I love using this for my pasta because I can literally twist it in the bowl. So I'll just show you what I'm doing, just to make sure that it's cooking well. All right, needs a bit more time. Okay, it's back on the stove. Yeah, it's going good. Okay, so we need to get our items organized. So in a larger bowl, and I've already started, but I just wanted to show you how this mandolin works. This time I am using the gripper. And what I want to do is, this is our 4-in-1 mandolin. Right now I've got the slicer on it. I do not want to have slices because I want to be able to use it with my fork. So I'm just gonna slip this out. You can see my fingers poking through there. That's how easy it is to switch out. And I am going to grab the julienne blade that is 6 millimeters in width. So you just put the toe in, snap it down. I'm just gonna rest this on here. And I am literally, get it going the right way, just gonna slice this. Oops. And now you know why I'm using the finger gripper. Cabbage is quite dense to cut. And you can see why. And the reason it's chopping is this is actually slicing and dicing all at the same time. Now, if you have a food processor, you can pull it all out, but honestly, do you really want to pull all your food processing items out onto your counter or not? So once I've got a few veggies in there, and you can actually, let me pop this out. I wanted to put radishes in here. Part of banh mi, just FYI, look at these tangs. Can you see them? I love that you can just pop in radishes. And I don't want to use this slicer, so how quick is this? I am going to put the single blade in here, and I'm just going to slice these up. Okay, and look at how nice they turned out. Okay, so we've got our lettuce here. We've got our rice noodles cooking. Just gonna turn this down a bit. I've actually done some in advance, so they have cooled down because I didn't want to add them to my hot. So these are rice noodles. I've got them in the collapsible steamer strainer. So this is silicone, it collapses down to nothing. And basically I've cooked it for 7 minutes, and then make sure you rinse it in cold water so you stop the cooking process. And I'm literally, because I don't want them to be soggy, but I'm literally gonna drop these right inside my bowl here. All right. And then we're gonna grab our grip and grabs. Some of the other things that we need to add, banh mi. Here's the story. Banh mi, I actually thought banh mi would have something to do with all the little noodles that are in our seasonings and spices that were in there. But actually, are you ready for this? Banh mi actually means baking bread. Really? In Vietnam? Okay, so get a load of this. Back in the mid-century of 19th century, so that would be like 1950 or 1850, the French introduced baguettes to Vietnam. They loved it. And of course, they used their seasonings to create this baguette sandwich, which is where the banh mi comes from. So banh mi is actually like this amazing sandwich that you can get over in Vietnam. And normally it has the burger or the baguette has pickles. Now I'm sure you've been watching me have fun. It's pickle season. And so banh mi is basically a baguette, but because we're gluten-free, it's why I'm doing a noodle salad instead. It's got pork. So yes, it has slices of pork with the seasoning, and then it has pickled veggies. So I've done up some pickled veggies. These are so easy to make. Of course, this is with my Montreal steak sauce. And what do you think these are? These are radishes. How pretty. Look at the color. Isn't that great? So yeah, I'm gonna do some radishes. I literally did these up this morning. I just thought I need some color in here. Doesn't that look delish? Now, the other thing that they always have on banh mi is they usually have onions. So I've got a little bit of red onion here. And of course, cucumbers are very popular. And I just whip these up. People have been watching my pickle recipe, and I've had a few people ask me questions like, can you reuse the brine, right? Like, because honestly, you eat these so quick because they're so delicious and tasty and crunchy and flavorful. And I actually did some research since I was chatting last time with the lady, and you can actually reuse your brine. What I understand is once. So feel free to use the brine again. Of course, if you're sticking your fingers in there, don't reuse it. And I would probably just reheat it again and pour it over top of your veggies. Okay, so there I've got my pickles, my cucumbers, my onions. I've got my salad going. I've got my meatballs in the oven. And I am just going to literally grab this salad dressing that I created. And I'm going to pour this on. We're going to toss it. I am so looking forward to eating this today. I was testing out the recipe earlier this week, and ever since I tasted the salad dressing that I made, it's like, oh, I can hardly wait to make the salad. So here we go. I'm just going to grab a plate here, and I'm going to get my veggies on my plate, my noodles. I'm going to make it look pretty here. Veg. Now I've set some things aside that I had just little bits of leftover. Of course, you saw how full my pickle jar was. So I kept a few cucumbers out just so I can make it look pretty. If you have any limes, feel free to stick a lime or two along there. Little bit of radishes, because they did totally change color once I pickled them. And then last but not least, I had literally a few carrots left. What was I making with carrots the other day? But I had 2 carrots. Hardly any left. Whatever. Use what you got. Don't throw away your food. And I love cilantro. And I grow cilantro in the house all the time. So if you love cilantro, cilantro would go great on this dish. I should move this over so you can actually see. So feel free to put some cilantro sprigs in there. And I am going to grab my meatballs so you can see what they look like. Okay, so these are the meatballs. Like I said, a pound of pork with the banh mi will make 20 meatballs. So literally just grab your grip and grabs again and just plate these on here. And you have a nice, quick, healthy banh mi noodle salad. Isn't this so easy? So as I mentioned, the product that we just featured today is the Banh Mi Burger Seasoning. And again, you probably wouldn't try it unless you'd seen how easy it is. But like I said, I wish you could smell this because it's unlike any burger you've ever had. It's a little bit sweet, a little bit spicy, and just perfect. So there you are, folks. your banh mi noodle salad. Isn't this great? How light and refreshing is that going to be? And of course, as we get closer to summer, you're going to want to watch that waist, and this will be a great way to have a healthy meal, crunchy, tasty, and yummy. Thanks for popping in. Nice to see you, Lori and Jennifer. Take care, everyone. See you again next Thursday at 3. Bye for now.